everyone, Ben the Bar Guy, owner of Here and After Cocktail Tavern in Buckeye Lake, Ohio, here with another video to help you make better drinks. And today, we're gonna talk about making multiple drinks at once, or as we in the industry call it, building rounds. If you need to build rounds for your friends at home, or you need to build more than one drink at the same time, how do you do it? It's not as easy as you may think, but it is simple to understand. So, if you like better drinks, stick with me. Nux, beer mug, daiquiri. All right, everyone. This has been the Bar Guy, owner of Here and After Cocktail Tavern in Buckeye Lake, Ohio, and I'm here to help you make more than one drink at the same time. How do you do it? Let's say you have friends coming over to your house. You're gonna need to make them multiple drinks right off the bat because duh. How do you build it in the most efficient way so you can get back to making dinner or you can get back to hosting and being a great host for your guests? The other way of looking at this is if you're a professional bartender out there, how do you build drinks for a service bar where the demands for how fast you are really important? How do you do that in the best possible way to get drinks out as fast as you can? Make the most money for yourself and your business. It's very important that we go through what's called an order of operations. And the order of operations does multiple things. Its number one goal is to get all drinks out at the same time in a fashion just like a course of food would come out, where every piece of food that's served in that course is at its optimal temperature, taste, it's exceptional, it's served right, and there's no one thing sat under the hot lamp for a while and one thing came out cold, right? Everything comes out as it should be at the same time, right? And that's how we want to serve drinks for the tray, especially for a service bar, right? You want to bring out your drinks like a course of food, all at their optimum. This is how they're supposed to taste, temperature, balance, everything. How do you go about doing that? And that's the number one goal, coming out at the same time. But the number two goal is efficiency, and you don't want to pick things up more than once. This is really important. Most bartenders have started to grasp things like fresh juice or syrups, and they've grasped the fact that they've got to use big ice cubes. Ice is really important, but a lot of people have gotten that. They understand that big ice cubes melt slower, and so you should present on big ice cubes. So they'll have molds at a cocktail bar. That's awesome. But can they build rounds of cocktails in the most efficient possible way by picking things up one time? And so what we're gonna do today, we're gonna go through a little practice round of 4 cocktails. We're gonna make some classic cocktails for you guys all at the same time so you guys can see how building a round really works. We're gonna do a Negroni, we're gonna do a daiquiri, we're gonna do a Manhattan, and we're gonna do a Collins. 2 citrus drinks and 2 stir drinks. And we're gonna go through 2 sections of the order of operation. That it is measuring and then it's icing. So let's start with the measuring. It's really, really important that we measure accurately. You're gonna want multiple jiggers, and I'll tell you why. If you don't have like a spray washer like we do at Here and After eventually, or like we did at Reliable Tavern where we can spray our jigger clean very quickly, you're gonna wanna have multiple jiggers or be next to a sink with running water that you can clean out things like Campari. If you're gonna have Campari in a drink, you're going to have a pretty intense bitter flavor, so that could carry to the other drinks. Measuring with this jigger after using Campari can add bitter components to another cocktail. You don't wanna taint cocktails down the line, so make sure you have lots of jiggers. And we're gonna measure accurately. It's really important to focus on measuring, be careful, but also be quick. And there's some ways you can do that when you're building rounds that really help you move through. Perhaps most importantly, we build drinks in what's called a horizontal method as opposed to a vertical method. The number one thing I see cocktail bartenders on service bars doing, especially at a busy service bar, is they'll build one drink, then they'll build another drink, and then they'll build another drink, and they're building in silos. That's called vertical round building. And the problem with that is you're gonna pick things up twice. So take our round, for instance. We have a Manhattan, Negroni, daiquiri, and a Collins. Well, it turns out a daiquiri and a Collins both require simple syrup. So if you build in a column, you're gonna pick the simple syrup and do your 3/4 ounce pour twice, because you're gonna pick it up for the Collins, which is this tin, and you're gonna pick it up for the daiquiri, which is this tin, right? Now you pick something up twice. If you do this multiple times per round and you do 50, 60 rounds in a night, this is gonna slow you down substantially, right? We can't have this. So you wanna learn how to measure across as you build rounds. Okay, so now that we're thinking about building across, what do you start with? Do you start with the booze? Do you start with the sugar? The step one in any round building is have what you need to make the cocktail. So there's no point in starting any round without having all the booze you're gonna need for your cocktail, as well as everything you're gonna need with terms of measuring. Your citrus for your juice should already be juice. Your garnishes we'll get to, but you're gonna want that fruit for the garnish. ready to go. So have your stuff, and have it prepped, have it staged in a way in which it's easy to reach. Like I have bitters here, I have, everything I need. Now, once you have your stuff, then you lay out what container am I gonna make these drinks in. So, like I said earlier, we have a Collins, we have a daiquiri, right? Those are gonna be shaken drinks. Why are they shaken? Well, they have citrus in them. We shake citrus. And then we have a couple stirred drinks, the Manhattan and the Negroni. So here's our Manhattan. It's gonna go in this glass here. This is a stirring glass. We're gonna need to stir on ice to get the Manhattan because we're gonna serve this Manhattan up as it's traditionally served. We're gonna need to stir it on ice in this glass container in order to get it nice and chilled. This is a measuring glass for a Negroni. When it comes to a Negroni, which is served down on an ice cube, we say we can build in the glass for a Negroni, meaning we can build it right on the ice that it's being served on. Now in this case, because I'm talking a lot, I'm just gonna use an espresso measuring glass with ounces on the side, and we'll be able to measure accurately our Negroni in this glass. And then we're gonna pull out a frozen glass later, add the ice, and pour it from this container over it. But you could, if you're fast enough building rounds, just build a Negroni right over the frozen rock and glass. But you'd have to be pretty quick. And because I'm talking, we're gonna do it with a step in between, which is a measuring glass. So as we start to build, we're gonna start with the citrus, okay? We always start with citrus because generally speaking, it's less expensive to waste. You always wanna assume you're gonna make some mistakes when you're building rounds. And if you do, how much did you waste? Matters. So we start with the cheapest ingredients first. And generally speaking, citrus is gonna be pretty cheap, as is your syrups. So we start there with citrus, and then we go step 2 to our sugar. Then step 3 is going to be modifying spirits. And then step 4, we're gonna measure our booze, right? Booze is last, tends to be most expensive. So as we start to build, we're gonna build by grabbing, you don't necessarily build left to right. If this tin was over here, which it could be, well, I might start with the lime juice and the daiquiri, which is here. Left to right isn't really relevant. The only thing that's relevant is your citrus is what you start with. So I'm gonna go ahead and build these drinks. I'm gonna try and talk my way through it. Try and move pretty quickly, but we're gonna start with citrus, sugar, modifiers, then spirit. If I was building this round, I would start with the lemon juice for the Collins. Then I would move to the lime juice, a scant 1 ounce for the daiquiri. They both are gonna get simple syrup. You'll note I will only pour 3/4 of an ounce one time for both, picking up the simple syrup just one time. Now in this case, I don't have any other citrus or sugars to add. I need to move on to my modifiers. So my modifiers in the case of the Negroni are sweet vermouth, which we'll need 1 ounce of. And we also need 1 ounce of sweet vermouth in the Manhattan. Then you have Campari. You'll note that I only used the jigger for the Manhattan. Now we're gonna take these back. Now we're onto our spirits. Now I don't wanna waste a trip over here, so I'm gonna grab everything I need, as much as my hand can grip. We're gonna bring the rye for the Manhattan, rum, and gin. Now when we pour spirits, we need to pay attention to pouring from lightest to darkest, and that's because you'll find that you won't taint your cocktails as much if you go from light to dark. So if you were to use a jigger for 1 ounce of gin, and then it went into the jigger and you added rye to the Manhattan, probably less likely to taste that than say go in reverse. If you use rye and you put then gin into your martini with the same jigger, you're probably gonna taste that rye, right? So ideally you have a clean jigger. I haven't used this side of the jigger. We're gonna start with our light spirits first. We have gin for the Collins, 2 ounces. And then we don't want to forget, don't want to put this down quite yet. And that's because you need 1 ounce of gin for your Negroni. Again, we're picking things up one time, really important. Now this jigger is spent because it has gin in it. I need rum now for the daiquiri, so I'm going to switch jiggers and add 2 ounces to our daiquiri. Now we're on the rye for the Manhattan. I kept the jigger from the pour of sweet vermouth earlier, and that goes in there. Now, we don't have any more spirits to pour, but we're not quite done measuring. We still need a couple things, and that's really bitters. We're gonna get out of the way. We're gonna add about 3 mils of bitters. And we're gonna go ahead and do an orange twist for a Negroni. And you know what? I'm gonna put an orange twist on our Manhattan. I like them with orange twists. Should be with a cherry. Traditionally, I'm gonna do an orange twist. Garnishes for a daiquiri, you could cut a lime wedge here. I'm gonna skip it. And a garnish for the Collins could be a lemon wheel, a half wheel, or a lemon wedge. Again, I'm just gonna skip it. So now the question you need to ask yourself as you're building the round, you build it across is everything measured? Because as you notice, there is no ice involved in this round whatsoever yet. And that's because ice is like lighting a wick, a fuse, on a bomb. Once you light that fuse, you only have so long before the cocktail becomes too watered down and unacceptable to give to guests. The answer to that is don't add ice until the last minute. And now we're on to icing. Now we've crossed the threshold from measuring into icing. So what do you need? You'll notice I spread apart my drinks here so that I have enough room to fit a glass in between, the glass that these things are going to go into, right? That's number one. Number two is when you're in the icing part of the round, what do you serve first? What do you want to put out on the tray first so that everything comes out at top-notch level? The issue here is that we have two up drinks. We have a daiquiri that's up, and we have a Manhattan that's up, and then we have a drink that's with soda down in a Collins glass, and then you have a drink that's down and stirred, right? The Negroni. So in what order do we make these so that the drinks all come out in the best possible fashion? Well, it turns out because you're adding soda, which is water already to the Collins, we're gonna put that out first because water content isn't as important. It's a pretty durable cocktail. We talk about durability in the order of operations when we build rounds. Durability is how long can a drink sit out on a tray and continue to be okay. And it turns out Collinses, they last a little bit longer than all of these other styles of drinks. The next one would be the Negroni. We're gonna make this actually next. And the reason is simple, because it sits on a rock already. Water is a part of its component. It is already going to melt a little bit into the drink. So we're gonna pour it onto the Negroni, we're gonna stir it a few times, and we're gonna be done with it, right? It's a very quick drink, it's done. We can put it on the tray pretty quick with its garnish of an orange twist. Then we get into a little more difficult situation. We want to stir the Manhattan. Now, what I didn't say is that stirring a Manhattan actually takes a long time. So you have to know how long it's gonna take to stir a Manhattan. For me, I need to stir this Manhattan before I do anything else. I need to stir this drink to about 60 to 70% done. And the only reason I would know that is if I'm straw tasting as I'm going. The very first thing I do is add ice to this, but now I'm on the clock. I'm stirring that to about 50, 60% done, then Collins, then Negroni. Then we have a shaken up drink. I don't want to start shaking the up drink until this now is almost done. I want it to be 95 to 100% done, because all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a julep strainer to it. I'm gonna shake my daiquiri, and then I'm gonna strain them out into their appropriate glasses, and then put those last on the tray. Because they're up, the shaken drink needs to be frothy and still laughing at you as it's being served. And the martini has an absolute necessity, needs to be freezing cold as it can get without becoming unbalanced, without becoming too diluted. We don't want to over stir it for temperature, but there's a balance there between temperature and serving the Manhattan as it should be dilution wise. And we want it at that peak temperature. And so you must serve it because it's up cold. Those hit the tray last. I always put my stirred drinks up last, but in this case, I'm gonna strain them at the same time if I can and get them out, garnished, ready to go. That's where we're headed in the icing round. Let's go ahead and do it. Okay guys, so in my kitchen, I've gotten out everything I need in order to start icing the round and getting drinks out order of durability. Even though the first drink I'm gonna need to complete is the Collins first because it's the most durable, I do need to get this drink, the Manhattan, to about 60, 70% done before I move on. You know, there's a couple ways to tell. You can straw taste, you can look at the ice kind of relaxing, you can use the back of your finger to touch the stirring glass. All those methods work really well. Now we're gonna go ahead and shake the Collins. I'm gonna add about an ounce, ounce and a half of soda, and I'm only gonna add about a half ounce to 3/4 of an ounce of water from the shake. So you need to shake really rapidly and quickly in order to get that done right. Make sure you strain everything off right away. Shake and strain is the motto of the day. There's no shake then strain, it's shake and strain, okay? And we have a nice Collins that goes on the tray first. Next up is the Negroni. I'm gonna pour that over this ice cube. We wanna serve the Negroni relatively hot. We don't need so much water in the Negroni. We serve it in a way that makes the guest choose where they want to enjoy the drink in terms of dilution. So we serve it relatively hot, maybe 3, 4 stirs. The twist on of orange and that's good to go. Now we want to check our Manhattan again. Where are we at? We need it to be 95% done here. It still needs a little stirring. So before we go shaking that daiquiri, which we need to be pristine, we really need to stir the Manhattan until it's right about done. Critical point. There's no sense in stirring slowly. If you're not stirring fast, you might as well not even be stirring. So make sure when you're stirring your cocktails, you're stirring them as quickly as possible. We've gotten to the point where I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna put this so it's ready to strain right when I'm done with this daiquiri. Now, we're gonna shake a daiquiri. I'm using a nice big cube to shake with it. That is really important if you wanna get a lot of head and froth on your daiquiri. You may wanna start shaking slow, kind of rock it a little bit until it's a little bit tempered. And then we're gonna rip it out. Be conscious of your shake face. You don't really going like this the whole time you're shaking, okay? People will think, one, you look weird, and two, you want to look like you're having a good time shaking the drink. All right, now shake, strain, same thing. Never let something sit in the tin too long. There we go. Nice frothy top daiquiri, I'll show you that, right? Now ideally, I would have strained my Manhattan at the exact same time, but we're not too far behind. You want to low and slow strain this till there's a drip. You never want to strain high with a stirred drink. We don't want any bubbles on there, that's bad. Here's your Manhattan, and there we have it. A round of cocktails served pristinely as they should be served all at one time. That's how you build a round for your friends at home. Just a few seconds after we finish the round, these are what the drinks look like. The Negroni is in a big glass, but you can see it's not a cube floating inside of the Negroni. It's a cube like a castle. The drink is a moat around it. We don't want bobbing up and down. We want the wash line to come so that the cube is resting solidly in the drink, right? The cocktail goes around the ice. Manhattan with a twist. The twist is easy for the guests to pull out if they like. It's a nice cold drink in a frosted glass. And the daiquiri, you can see has some froth left. I wish there was more, but that would be an acceptable round to serve. All right, guys, so that's how you build cocktails for the tray. I hope this helps you guys. Those professional bartenders on service bars getting their butt kicked. I hope it helps you. I also hope it helps the at-home bartender listening that is building drinks for 3 or 4 friends, and they're all gonna be impressed because you pump out cocktails like it's no big deal. I hope you guys are having fun out there with cocktails. I hope I can be a help. And please keep watching, like, and subscribe. And if you're in Ohio, please come see me soon at Here and After Cocktail Tavern, opening in early 2022. As always, guys, Nux, beer mug, daiquiri, to better drinks.